My name is Nicolas from Brew Editing, and today we are going to interview Joe from SBR Track Days. Hi Joe, how are you?
I'm fine, Nicola.
Can you share with us how you first got into motorcycling?
When I was 15 years old, my neighbors were already riding bikes. And those were the days where it was two-stroke, Kawasaki, three cylinders, and Audi 250s and 350s. They were very wild. And I got a hook. I really wanted to join them, but I was too young. So I was looking forward to the time where I could get my license.
How have the SBR Track Days evolved since their inception in 2011?
I started a club in 2001 actually. There were a lot of expats riding bikes in Singapore, and I was a Yamaha dealer, and one of the guys came in and bought a R1 for me and says, what are we going to do with this bike? It's such a fast bike. I said, you can join me to go to the racetrack. I go to Sepang twice a month. I go to Pasir Gudang every weekend. And they said, okay, they will join us. We will ride from Singapore on the old roads to Sepang and Batu Tiga, which is the old Malaysian racetrack. So we formed a club, and it was called SBR. 2001, the club was registered Sport Bike Riders Singapore. And it was like, it was almost like an expat club. Maybe 2 or 3 of us were locals.
You know, the first ever rider to ride on this track. Can you tell us what?
Oh, yes. In 1998, we were regularly doing Batu Tiga circuit, the Shah Alam circuit. And my friend told me that he was the general manager of the new Sepang circuit. And he called me and said, can you come and test the circuit? So in early 1999, me and 6 of us went to Sepang. And I went out and rode the first lap.
For the record, you are officially the first ever rider to ride the track.
Yeah, unofficially, officially, yes, I was the first guy, yeah.
What have been the biggest challenges that you faced running SBR?
The reason the club was formed was for us to go and ride together. Second reason was this is an extreme sport, and it is dangerous when you're not doing it correctly. So with my experience in racing and many years of riding, the guys wanted to know how we could do this safer. We were the first guys who started to segregate fast and slow riders. So when we go and book Sepang circuit, we would have an A group and a B group, to have fast guys go have fun, slow guys go out and learn, and the fast boys will guide them along and bring them up.
For the record, you managed to maintain a crash rate below 4%, which is by far the lowest.
Actually, the most difficult group was the C group because they were all newcomers. They don't know what they are going into. Going into Sepang circuit for the first time is like going to, let's say, Wembley Stadium to play football. You get, wow, the track is so huge, it's so wide. You don't know where to position your bike. So it would be so good to have someone lead you there and guide you along and, get you up to pace. The beginners, give them a chance to pick up pace because 2 groups, the second group is still quite fast. And if you are a beginner, you're still learning the track and you're blocking the fast guys, you are a danger to yourself, you are a danger to them too.
In comparison to local competitors in Malaysia, how has SBR managed to stay ahead?
We are customer number 1 in Sepang. Like if the first club or the first customer to pay the track and book the track a whole day. Because before we came along, it was an open track day. You just go there, pay your 100 or 50 ringgit or whatever, and you ride for 1 hour, and then you go home. But we booked the track, and it was exclusive to our club and our people. And in that way, we could monitor dangerous riders, we could monitor very slow riders, and we can control 90% of the riders. We were very, very successful in keeping our track days safe. Till today, we don't really have much competition with other track day organizers. Yeah.
Could you tell us more about your approach to coaching beginners and the potential for starting a riding school?
Firstly, there is a lack of training facilities in Singapore. So when we want to train a rider, we need to have speed. There's nowhere in Singapore we can do that. So Sepang Circuit is the perfect place to tune your brains to speed, because this is all about racing, high speed stuff, adrenaline, excitement. There's nothing more fun than to do a track day in Sepang, where you could do 250, 300 if your bike is capable of, in a safe environment. We had successful racers that took part in Malaysian Superbike Championships and won races there. I brought in some coaches from Australia and some of our local boys who are more experienced to coach the young boys. And some will get hooked to it and want to race, or some will just come and ride every weekend just for fun.
What goes into organizing a typical 2-day SBR event?
Well, we have a big team, and actually almost all are volunteers. In my own staff, we have someone looking after registration. Donna, now we have Siu Fong looking after registrations, and everything is done online. Favorite slots are Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, and they have 4 hours on Friday, 4 hours on Saturday, and a good night's sleep to ride better the next day. Then the very important part after registration, it's a safety briefing, and I've got my old friend, one of the original SBR guys, Chris Swanee, we call him Chamley. He organizes the best safety briefing. We were serious, joking at the same time, very interesting. Nobody falls asleep on his safety briefings, and a bunch of marshals that are very helpful in guiding the first timers out, and also riding in A group, B group, and C group to make sure there's discipline out there. So, we will look out for, of course, dangerous riders too slow, riding in the wrong group. And then we have, marshals to look after the riders going out, and it's 2-3 days before track days, I always have sleepless night because my mind is thinking about so many things. We don't only just organize the track day. We have tire changing service. We got mechanics. We got refreshment. I bring the fuel from outside petrol kiosk to inside the pit, so that the riders don't have to go outside. We bring refreshment, banana, cookies, drinks, and lots of ice because Sepang is so hot, and air-conditioned rooms. Sepang has been really nice to us, giving us what we asked for. So we've been quite lucky. But again, we are a very old customer of Sepang Circuit.
And what are your future plans for SBR Track Days?
The thing that we are missing is a proper riding school, a racing school. I've done 2 sessions with California Superbike School in Sepang, joint venture with them. We have done 1 session with YCRS, is a Yamaha Champions Racing School from the US. But I would like to have our own SBR schools in the later stages, but to plan it with a professional, qualified coach.
As an official PRA consultant for Asia, how has this role influenced SBR operation?
2009, Pirelli called me up and asked me if I could work with them as a consultant. I took up the job. I was lucky because now I could access myself to good tires. I had information from the factory, from the racing people. The tire evolved from a good tire till today. We are so lucky to have such a good product during our track day because it makes the riding so much safer. Riders are now putting their elbows down, some of them. The lean angle on the bike. Luckily, we have Pirelli supporting us with a constant supply of tires at Sepang. They would have a container of tires always ready for me to use.
Finally, what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out in motorcycle racing or looking to participate in their first SBR Track Day?
Motorcycling is not for everyone. It's extreme sport. It's one of the sport that rewards you with so much fun. That's why I never stopped till today, more than 50 years of riding. And if you become a fast rider, you enjoy this sport more because it's so thrilling. But you need to start off correctly because you have to avoid crashing. Crashing hurts your body and your pocket. Getting started with the right people, you need guidance. It's difficult to learn motorcycling by yourself. You need someone experienced to teach you. So look for the correct people and then put in track time. Theory and whatever you find on the internet and websites means nothing if you have all the information and you do not do track time, you will not improve. But if you do it 10 times, it becomes normal. You do it 100 times, you'll be relaxing when the back wheel is up in the air and braking hard. Just like the MotoGP boys, when they come for Sepang and do their winter test, look at the laps, they do 140, 150 laps. So get fit, because it is a very physical sport. 10 laps in Sepang is like riding from Singapore to Thailand. At my age now, I cannot ride non-stop for even 7 laps. 4 or 5 laps, and I come back to the pits because you lose concentration and it's very, very physical, much more physical than people imagine.
The next important date?
Yeah, Mini Moto, we have a night session tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in KF1 Kranji. It's just a toy, but it's still fast. It's 5-speed, top speed about 75, 80 km. And then I have Buriram coming in January 12 and 13. Buriram Circuit, Thailand. Very hard to organize. We have about 40 over riders, maybe 50 by towards closer to the date. And that's a big challenge, but it's also a fun track, a very fast flowing track. And then Sepang, we start in April next year. We will have 6 dates. I will put the dates up on the website.
We're all looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Jose, for your time.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Yeah. Shallow.